Well, we're going to start out tonight by learning a French phrase. A phrase in French. Maybe you already know it. I was going to use chalk here, but school hasn't started and there isn't any, so I've got to go to a different method here. Hopefully everybody can see that. And our phrase is dandelion. And it means dent, as in dental, tooth of the lion in English. Dandelion. And if you say it a few times to yourself, dandelion, 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 you can see that it's not too big of a jump to our English word dandelion. And that is in fact where our word comes from. Dandelions are called, we're actually going to be talking about dandelions tonight, not French phrases. And dandelion is called dandelion, or tooth of the lion, because of the shape of the leaves. It has serrated, fairly sharply serrated leaves, so it could be construed as a tooth. While we're talking about nomenclature for dandelions, it has other common names as well as a scientific official name. Some of the common names are priest's crown, swine's snout. Don't ask me where that one came from. The priest's crown I can kind of envision, and lion's tooth, of course, we already dandelion. And then the scientific nomenclature for it is Taxicum officinale. So Taxicum is the genus for dandelions, and there are several species underneath that. But our little backyard humble dandelion is the official one, Taxicum officinale. If ever there was a plant, a native flower, that is more unloved or unappreciated, it has to be the dandelion. If you Google the word dandelion, one of the things that comes up immediately is how to kill dandelions. It is the scourge of the suburban lawnscape. Disliked by those lawn owners, by golf course officials and turf managers and that sort of thing. It's considered a broadleaf weed. And let me I'll pass this around. I've got a couple of pictures. I'll just pass that around, share with everybody. And I'd like to challenge you to think in a little bit of a different way about the dandelion. And that's my proposal. That's what I hope to persuade you of. To think about the dandelion in a new light and see that it has some very excellent qualities to it. To begin with, all parts of the plant are edible. So the root can be dried and ground up and used as a coffee substitute, for instance. The leaves can be used just like we would use lettuce in a salad or on a sandwich or something like that. And the pretty yellow flower head can be used to make dandelion wine. It's a little sweet for my taste, but others enjoy it. And not only is the whole thing edible, but it's basically a superfood. It is loaded with nutritious elements such as vitamin A, B complex, C, and D. It also has iron, potassium, and zinc in it. And it has antioxidant properties as well, so it's good for your circulatory system. So not only is it edible and a superfood, it has also been used in traditional medicine for at least hundreds and maybe thousands of years by the Chinese and also by Native Americans. There's a lot of claims about it, its health benefits, which are not necessarily substantiated by modern science, but some are. It's claimed, for instance, that it can cure skin ailments or it soothes an upset stomach and this sort of thing, and I don't know whether that's true. And there has been surprisingly little research on that sort of thing. But anyway, the things that it does do, it's an antioxidant, it's a known diuretic. That's probably been its main use. It increases the flow of urine in the body, basically, the diuretic. And then it also helps to, more scientific recent studies show that it can help to regulate blood sugar levels, so that it can be of use to someone who's diabetic, for instance, and that it also lowers blood triglycerides and raises the HDL, or good cholesterol. The last two I could benefit from, for sure. So used in research, I mean, used in traditional and medicine, and it is documented that way. It's also, moving on to just the aesthetics of it, I think it's a beautiful plant. It's a beautiful little flower. And how many of us have not taken one of those flower heads when you were a kid or whatever and blown the little seeds away? A field of them, I'll pass this out as well. I'll start over here this time, won't you? I can't look at one and look at that beautiful yellow flower in bloom. It makes me want to smile. If you see a whole field of them, they're beautiful, yellow carpet. So there's a lot of good things about the humble dandelion that we want to exterminate. We consider it a weed. A weed is really a human construct of a plant that we don't want in a particular place at a particular time. So I would ask you to look at the dandelion as for what it is instead of what we've demonized it as. It's also, other folks apparently have appreciated it because it's made its way into literature. And I'd like to kind of wrap up by sharing a couple of quotes in regards to the dandelion. One is a prose type thing, and it is by someone named John Burroughs. It's a quote, and it says, the dandelion, quote, copies in gold upon the green expanse the stars of the midnight sky. And then this is a poem I'll share with you as well by a different author, and it is, bright little dandelion lights up the meads, swings on her slender foot, telleth her beads, lists to the robin's note poured from above, wise little dandelion asks not for love. And that's by someone named Helen Baron Bostwick. And I would say, to close, it's a good thing that the dandelion doesn't ask for love, because it sure doesn't get a lot in our society. But again, I would just encourage you to view this wonderful, beautiful little plant in a different light and to appreciate its fine qualities. Adam Toastmasters.